Hello?
Alright, Wayne. Listen, just check and see you're still on for tonight. I've got you booked for 8, but I've got another client at 10 past. You ain't going to be too long, right? Same rates apply.
That sounds perfect. Just got to check with Colleen and the baby are out this evening. Hey, what's that? Did you hear that?
Hear what? What are you talking about?
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
So scandalous.
Extraordinary moment in British journalism. The News of the World is to close, victim of its own phone hacking scandal.
The end of the News of the World, the paper at the heart of the phone hacking scandal, is to close.
On Sky News, the end of the News of the World. After 168 years in print, Britain's most notorious Sunday tabloid is shut down by its management.
Say what?
Hey, yo, you ready? Let's do it. Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed that. As shown in the video, News International attempted to scrape back the £150 million in lost revenue by launching The Sun on Sunday on the 22nd of February 2012 with a 50p price tag. There are early signs that the marketing strategy could have been more astute in its execution, and it is this that we will address today. The move to launch a newspaper came in an era where print media has been fast on the decline over the past 20 to 30 years, increasingly replaced by electronic journalism, an area which we think deserves more attention.
The Sun on Sunday announced its launch on the 20th of February, 6 days before its launch date. It took the newspaper industry by storm, and because of its price tag, forced its competitors to slash their prices to minimize any loss in sales, as switching costs in this industry are low. Rupert Murdoch, the big dog himself, spearheaded the campaign and was seen in press releases and most media campaigns related to The Sun on Sunday preceding its launch.
Analysing their marketing strategy, we found this to be a major shortcoming, and had we been able to intervene, would have chosen someone completely different to front the campaign. Murdoch's wealth of experience and expertise would have been equally valuable had he assumed a position at the back of house. They were at risk of jeopardising their entire brand architecture, which had taken them decades to build.
Another facet of marketing that we feel needed modification, which was alluded to earlier, was that of customer segmentation. Using Katie Price as a columnist and to open with an expose on Amanda Holden's near-death experience would not necessarily have appealed to a former News of the World reader. One aspect of the News of the World that made it a success was that it was a time-fair tabloid and modified itself incrementally to appeal to current trends of society. In this instance, employing Katie Price as a columnist was a move to appeal to a more female audience. So, in as far as customer segmentation goes, this would be a favourable tactic, and one which we would continue with from a marketing perspective.
Upon performing empirical research ourselves, it was found that many buyers were keen on buying the News of the World, not because they were former readers of it, but because more of their intrigue in what the paper had to offer. The Sun should have exploited this by enhancing the quality of its content, which would have kept readers and avoided the $500,000 downturn in sales figures after the first week. In the past, the reason that the News of the World had such political influence was that it appealed to the C2 demographic, a faction of swing voters which, if at hand, could anchor an election towards the party that was favoured by the News of the World.
So, what we're essentially saying is that they should have kept core content similar to that of News of the World, perhaps a little less offensive, and had add-ons instead to appeal to wider audiences, so perhaps add a fashion magazine or a female supplement.
Last, but by no means least, we shall address the matter of pricing strategy. By undercutting its competitors, The Sun on Sunday employed a clear penetration strategy. Because it has only been in publication for a few weeks, it is difficult to assess the success of this strategy, especially because after an opening sales figure of 3.3 million, this figure sharply dropped by 500,000 the week after, even though its competitors reverted back to their original sales prices. This showed that the penetration strategy alone was not enough to sustain a competitive advantage. The reason The Sun on Sunday was able to employ this pricing strategy was because the marginal cost of starting up a brand new newspaper from the same company would be much cheaper than introducing a completely new tabloid from scratch. This is because the infrastructure was already in place.
Because News International were able to stay afloat with the price decrease, we thought that we would build on the quality of the content displayed in the newspaper. For all we know, the strategy could be a success due to its appeal to the low-income demographic, but it is simply too early to tell.
Thank you for listening. Have a nice day.
We're gonna skate to one song only.
Yeah, shit, motherfuckers,